Hey, welcome back. Sorry I've been able to post a food video. Excited about this one though. Anticuchos, another one of my favorite Peruvian staples. Beef heart. That's what it is. Grilled, sliced beef heart. So I already took the liberty of measuring and toasting and grinding the spices. I have a recipe that I've written. I will post it in the comments below. I've already taken the time to go ahead and clean up the beef heart. By cleaning, I mean cutting off all the fat on the outside, splitting it down the middle, taking out the ventricles and all that. So now that I'm just stuck with these beautiful loins of heart, I'm going to go through, I'm going to slice them. You don't want to slice them down the middle, and then you end up with these inconsistent sizes of meat. So you want to kind of try and have consistency. So you slice them at an angle so that you can match up size-wise. You see how I just took 3 different parts and got relatively the same shape. I'm going to put those into this bowl. Now I think that my marinade recipe may actually be a little bigger than what I need. And again, with this slice, you want it to be a little thicker, probably a little bit bigger than 1/4 inch. These are typically served medium rare if you go to Peru, and that's how I like to eat these. A lot of people, if you get them in the States, they'll serve them well done. That personally I think is sacrilege. I like to just make them myself. So I'm going to finish slicing this up. I have a really cool trick I want to show you guys with the corn. Anticuchos are almost always served with choclo or corn. So I think it'll be a good time to show you a neat little trick that you guys can use for the summer. So now that we have the beef heart sliced, and we have all the mise en place, and remember the word mise en place means everything in its place. We have all the mise en place ready for the marinade. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to list off the ingredients, and we're going to mix that up. So I want to separate the marinade and see how much I think I need for the heart. So we have achote, which comes from the seed of the annatto tree. I keep a brick of that in my fridge, wet paper towel and a plastic bag, and then every time I use it, I make sure that that towel stays moist. And then just keep sealing it every time I need it. I just break a chunk off, throw it in my grinder. I also have 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1.5 tablespoons of salt. I have 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of coriander. I toasted those seeds in a pan on the stove and then put them in the grinder. So I also have 4 cloves of garlic and 2 limes. I'm going to put all of this right into this bowl. I'm going to put 1 ladle of oil and that juice of the 2 limes. So I think this needs more acid. Let's squeeze some more lime in there. A little bit of lime. Perfect. When you cook anticuchos, you got to cook them over leña or wood. Always buy coal briquettes, actual wood coal, hardwood, not like the little square briquettes. Buy like the lump coal. That's going to impart that real wood flavor. So again, that was a little heavy on the marinade. You need only about half of that. Now that anticucho is marinated, remember, be kind to your environment just like you'd be kind to your neighbor and be kind to your human beings. Use aluminum foil wherever possible. Save that plastic from going into the environment. Hook it up with some foil. Plastic doesn't decompose as fast as foil does. Cover this up. Throw it in the fridge. just gonna sit for a couple of hours, okay? Now that those anticuchos are done, I've already peeled out a bunch of these that we're gonna be using on the grill. I wanted to show you one. This is something I like to do when I grill corn. So I like the corn to steam itself out. I know that there's a little bit of the outside that can come off. So I peel off the first really rigid piece, and then I gently peel back the rest of the layers, trying to keep them as whole as I can. And when they start to break like that, just kind of hold off. Just wanted to bring you in a little closer so you could see better. So we're pulling off the outside, right? We're going to strip this back a layer at a time. You're going to follow the way that it's folded, that it's grown. And you're trying to peel off each leaf together. And you're trying to not break it as much as you possibly can. Find each separation in the order in which it grows. I don't remember where I learned this trick, but I have been doing this for years. And whenever I do corn on the cob on the grill, this is how I do it. And I don't remember who taught it to me, but it's something that I've always loved, because now that it's done, I have the corn in the husk. I throw this right into a bucket of water, which I have right here, and I'll let it soak for a few hours until I'm ready to throw them on the grill. Then they steam themselves out, and it's perfect. No silk, right? Good to go. All right, guys, we'll see you on the grill. Can't wait for you to check out these anticuchos. Don't forget, whenever you're doing anything with a skewer, always soak your skewers first. If not the night ahead, at least in the morning the day of, all right? Hey everyone, welcome to the grill. First things first, whenever I grill, I always fill up a 5-gallon bucket with soapy water or sanitizer water. I got some lump coal. It's been rolling in here for a while. Now, remember that trick I did with the corn? Stuff's been soaking for quite some time. We're just gonna go ahead and get that started. This is going to take longer than the anticuchos. So while that's rolling, we got that open, we got this kind of tethered closed. We're to go ahead and skewer the beef heart. I boiled up some potatoes. Anticuchos typically get served with potatoes and corn. So it was just water on this plate. We're going to reuse the plate to put the anticuchos on. So just skewer through like so. All right. We're going to put about 4 per skewer. So I'm going to go ahead and get these done, and then we'll put them on the grill. All right, so we got those skewers all done. Now it's time to check on the corn. maybe it's time to give one a roll. They are steaming up nice. I don't think we're ready to put the anticuchos on, but we can definitely start moving that corn along a little faster. We'll bring that coal right up top, right next to that corn. So give it a few more minutes. Once we start getting that corn really close, these are going to cook very fast because I sliced them pretty thin, like I said, about 1/4 of an inch. So there's another benefit I want to talk about when we talk about the anticucho, the beef heart. The whole heart costs about $3. You can feed 2 people easily on it, and it tastes fantastic. You can serve this with a pot of rice, or like I'm doing right now, a couple of ears of corn, a couple of potatoes. You can serve 2 people a full dinner, and it won't even cost you $5 per plate, at least, I guess, right? 2 potatoes, what is that? Probably $1.50. 2 ears of corn, call that $1 a piece. So that's $2. Call it $3 for the heart. So all in like $6. So $3 a person. That's a inexpensive meal. You get a hell of a protein. You got yourself your starch. You got your veggie. And it's a fantastic meal, and it's inexpensive. So, something to think about. A lot of stores have them. They may not put them out. If they don't have them out, always ask the butcher shop. They'll probably pull them out for you. They might have them in the freezer. If not, they'll order them for you. So, it's always worth looking into. I'd bring you guys over here and show you the coals, but it's a lot of work to go back and forth, and I need to get these anticuchos on if I'm going to be eating any dinner tonight. So I'm going to start throwing these down, leaving the part that wasn't in the water hanging off the edge of my grill on these skewers. And if I have to go inside, I'm going to try and put that part over the meat of the other anticucho so it's not directly over the fire. Now, because that part didn't soak, it's really easy for it to burn. That's why I'm putting it over the other anticuchos to protect it so it doesn't burn up, so I still have that as a handle when it comes time to eat. So my corn is going, it's starting to steam out. It's already nice and warm inside, so we're pretty close on that anyway. We just got to keep rotating it. My anticuchos are on. We're pretty close. My potatoes are cooked. With the potatoes, you want to go cook them like you're cooking mashed potato, but then you take them off about 5 minutes earlier. Shut the lid, and we'll come back to that. All right, so I can smell it already. It's time to give them the quick flip. You only flip them once. So I always start with the ones, move the ones off that you're protecting. Well, I was protecting that one, but I lost that. Okay, flip them once, rotate your corn again. We're real close. This is the last spot. And like I was saying earlier about the charcoal, this is right here, the stuff that I use, the Royal Oak. This is the closest that I can get to the flavor that I've had of anticuchos when I go to the backwoods of Peru and eat these, where they cook them in the actual environment, where it's the wood that they chop down in the woods in the back of their houses, where you're not eating them in the restaurant, where you're eating them in the kitchens of the families that invite you in. So if you're gonna make these at home, if you have access to something like this, you're gonna get the closest flavor with this. So when you flip them, you really only want to kiss the other side. You really don't want a lot of heat on that backside. You just don't want to have it raw. You get the nice mark on that one side, give them the flip. You're looking for a medium rare on these anyway, right? So, mark, flip, and kiss. Off they come. Good to go. Let's let that corn macerate for a little bit longer. I'll give you a little look-see at what these look like. Oh, man, I really wish you could smell these. I wish we had better light back here, too. Oh, man, they smell so good. The wife's going to be so happy with these. Corn is done. Anticuchos are on the table. We'll pull the corn off. We're going to put it on the table. While we were shooting this, my wife made a ricotta crema, which is something that I'll have to demonstrate another day. Oh, well, party foul. A little beer. Oh well, what can you do? All right. So, I'm gonna have dinner. You guys have a good night. I hope you enjoyed the video, the Anticuchos. I'll post up the recipe on how to marinate this later, and we'll do a demo on how to do that ricotta crema later. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk later. All right, see ya.